Alright, so here we are again with Hollow Knight, and today's stream is not going to be a long one. It's just going to be me taking down, well, Hollow Knight for the millionth time, and then Radiance. So, let me just get a couple things out of the way. First of all, I'm here, so I made my way here. I got the final notch that I was missing, which was over in Fog Canyon, I think it was. And these are the medals I'm going to be using for this fight. Quick Slash, Mark of Pride, Quick Focus, and Dash Master. The thing with this is, I have already practiced this fight. I practiced earlier today, and I practiced even just about 20 or 30 minutes ago. So Hollow Knight's basically free, and Radiance is not completely free, but I'm pretty sure I can beat him in a reasonable time. So pretty sure. I have seen the whole Radiance fight. Actually, I learned about Any Radiance, which is a modded boss version of Radiance, which is apparently, well, apparently the hardest, it's supposed to be impossible boss, and it's completely ridiculous from the looks of it, but not that I'm going to ever try that, but just saw that, so I think I should be okay. I'm going to be very aggressive on this fight. I don't really care too much about my health, because we get some health back. Okay, we'll heal here. There we go. Now we're on to Radiance. It's just insane how quickly this fight can be done. I still think it's dumb that you have to do this fight to get to Radiance every time, but it's pretty crazy. Alright. Now the real boss. So again, I have practiced this a bit, so hopefully I'm better than I was in the first stream I tried this. Hey, Mega Rogue, how's it going? Sworn he should be at. I thought he was gonna get to his second phase by now. I thought I did enough hits. Apparently not. So, Mega Rogue, how's it going today? So the plan for this stream is to beat this. If I beat it really fast, really fast, then I don't know, I'll see what else to do. If I don't do it really fast, if it's like an hour, then that'll be the stream. And if I don't do it within an hour or so, then, well, do it next stream. Yeah, that's it. Bam. We got him. Alright, real fight time. Wait, what? What the hell hit me? Oh, fuck, man. He did multiple swords attack, which fucked me. Fuck. I'm still not very good with the sword attack, but he did it a lot that fight. Yeah, big F. Third time's the charm though, right? Surprised he's not in his next phase yet. There we go. All right, here we go again. Walked right into that. Alright, well I got to the second phase this time. So that's good. Not great that I only have 4 health, but that'll have to do. Fuck. Fuck, I pressed the wrong button. I would have died anyway, because swords. Wait. I get the soul back. how fast that was. Like, sometimes it just feels like he takes more damage. But I'm sure he has a set health. Maybe some hits just are doing more. Fuck, man. More swords. What? Wrong way. This ain't the best attempt. Ah, fuck, no, I want to go the other way. Messed up. Ah, fuck, man. Actually, spikes only do 1 damage, by the way. Something I didn't realize until just now. Okay. Much better shape than last time. Okay, let's jump up, please. Oh, fuck, you just spawned it right on me. Oh shit, we're on this phase? Oh fuck, that was really fast. I mean, this is pretty much it. There we go. I wasn't expecting that second phase to go so quickly. Oh. I did it. I killed him. Easy W, yeah. Oh, it's all getting released. CR, how's it going, by the way? Welcome to the stream. No. It only took 10 minutes, yeah. I mentioned, I don't know if you were here, but I had practiced this earlier today. The Hollow Knight fight and then most of the Radiance fight, but, you know, I didn't end up actually beating Radiance. So I'm surprised we got through that really fast. I was expecting it to take like 30-40 minutes before I really figured it out perfectly. Or not even figured it out, I had figured the fight out. Like, so here's the thing. I had watched what was it called? I don't know the YouTuber's name, but it's the video about God Radiance and how impossible it is. Not God Radiance. Any Radiance and how impossible it is. And I was watching these crazy people. Go through all this shit that the fight was spitting out, and I was like, you know what? There's absolutely no reason I shouldn't be able to beat Radiance in a reasonable time in this stream. And so I practiced the movements a little bit, like I said, off stream earlier today, and mainly avoiding the attacks is what I was trying to practice. And as you could tell, I'm still far from perfect, but that plus getting the right charms for the Hollow Knight fight to make that go really fast was important too. That was actually the big thing for me, was figuring out what can make that fight go super fast, and I got that down. And then it was just a matter of practicing Radiance and then actually beating him on stream here. Hey Clifford, how's it going? But yeah, that was faster than I thought it was going to be. I didn't think I'd get it that quick. GamerFourFun, I'm really loving USA. God bless America. God bless USA. Good to hear, Lyra. Hope you're having a great day today. So, let me think about this. I guess I'll talk about the game. Game was excellent. It's well, actually, let me just see if there are any comments before I get into that. Any Radiance is a mod, absolutely. Yeah. I know Any Radiance is a mod, boss. That's insane. I know he's a mod, boss. But I'm saying I saw that and I was like, shit. You know what? Let's get this done. Let's get Radiance done and beat him and be done with it. Because there's no reason I shouldn't be able to. So, first of all, just talk quickly about the story there. So, basically, if you don't defeat Radiance, if you just beat Hollow Knight and kill Hollow Knight, then does Radiance possess the knight that you play as? And then you're trapped there forever? I don't fully understand the plot, to be honest. I need to actually watch a video or something on that. If someone wants to try and explain it to me, feel free. But clearly, I guess the Radiance, the light was keeping the darkness locked away, or the Radiance because it was trying to get out. I don't know the plot either. Mega Rogue says. Well done on achieving this great feat. You persevered and you triumphed. Yeah, we'll meet you on the road ahead. All right. Okay, so while the knight absorbs the infection, thus becoming the new vessel and being sealed in the egg. Right. Okay, so he absorbs. That's in the bad ending. The one where you just beat Hollow Knight. Where you kill the Hollow Knight vessel. The knight absorbs the infection and then becomes the vessel. But so the good ending, though, basically the Radiance was a god before the Pale King came and replaced them. The Radiance was a god before the Pale King came and replaced them. Okay. And Radiance. So how does that tie into the plague and the darkness and the egg being sealed and the three dreamers we had to... Because the dreamers The Dreamers were the one that locked the black egg, and then we went and Radiance got angry and started an infection. Okay, alright, so Radiance got angry, started an infection. But Radiance was sealed in the black egg. I guess what I'm trying to put into words where my confusion is. And I should probably just watch a video, but so did how do I put this? Will you play Silk Song when it comes out? Yeah, definitely. The Dreamers acted as an extra seal to lock the egg. Okay, so the egg breaks. So the egg gets broken at the end in the true ending. And the knight is gone. I have that right? But the infection is... But the infection's no more. The infection is cured. Mike says, what was your favorite boss in Hollow Knight? Ask me in a couple minutes. The reason why it won the Hollow Knight was because he never showed emotions to Pale King, but he did have emotions. Kind of like a false something, don't know. Monomon, the jellyfish one, saw the signs that Hollow Knight was failing and wanted to undo the seal. Alurin and Hera wanted to keep the seal intact. So Hollow Knight was failing to keep the Radiance or Radiance locked within. So I should just watch a lore video. I think that would probably be the easiest thing to do for me to understand the story. I mean, the way it's told in this game, it's just, there's not a lot of, well, there is dialogue. I can't say there's not dialogue. There's plenty of dialogue to tell a story, but I don't know. I just feel like that was such a, it's like it's so scattered that It really is a very much a background thing where the game is mostly about the gameplay and the exploration, building your character. But I am a little curious about the story. I just think I need to look it up. Your voice should be used for gaming review at IGN, Lyra says. I don't know about that. All right, well, we'll get off the story talk. There's dialogue, but you're pretty much supposed to piece it together yourself. It's a Dark Souls style of storytelling. Yeah, which isn't bad. It's just, I don't know, if you're not really focused on it, like I wasn't for this game, then it can just, you can completely miss it, and that's kind of what was happening with me. I mean, even when I was reading stuff, I wasn't really paying much attention to it. It just felt like, you know, it felt, to be honest, I wasn't sure, because with games, for example, like Resident Evil games, there's the main story, which is the stuff you hear in dialogue, and then there's some files and stuff that you find that tie into that. But there's also a lot of extra files too that kind of build the world or build the story surrounding the main story. And I guess at a lot of points I was thinking, like, when I would read something like this, by the way, when I was reading something like this, by the way, like not this obviously, but stuff. I would get one of these, I'd read it, and I'd just be like, well, okay, so this is probably just about this area, or not necessarily about everything as a whole, but more so specifically this. And I don't know, it didn't really all click with me. But that said, maybe if I actually watch a video that better explains it, it'll no, we're not actually going to listen to that. Actually, I should also just update the title. I like that you don't need to focus on the story in games for subsequent playthroughs. Yeah, and you know, that's one of the great things about this game is, like, the story, it's there, of course, and I guess it does matter because it's why the things are happening, but it doesn't matter in the context of being a game that you can play, that you can sit down, you can enjoy. This game, I'll be honest, I didn't think it was going to be as good as it was. I knew it was highly regarded by a lot of people, but I didn't think it was going to be this good. And it was great. It was awesome. Like, it was truly an awesome experience. I think first of all, the exploration, and especially finding out from you guys and listening to you in the chat tell me about how, oh, I went to this area but haven't been to this area yet, or, oh, this is another way to this area. You went the not the wrong way, but the alternate way, or just finding hidden things, finding whether it be the grubs, or bosses maybe that you don't have to run into necessarily, but you can. Stuff like the Warriors challenges, stuff like the dream bosses, which I'll talk about those, but things like that really made this game. It's probably one of the biggest reasons that I was able to play this game a lot. The other big reason to go along with that, actually probably just as important, is this and this, the upgrades, the feeling that the character is getting stronger throughout the game through getting pure nails or getting mask shards, which, by the way, I'm actually still, there's 2 I haven't found. This god tuner, I don't even know what, I haven't used this at all yet. I don't know anything about this really, but you know, you have the extra, you have these 3 moves plus the dark versions, which I have here, the different ways to make movement faster through the dashes or the crystal, the dash slash, cyclone. No, actually those are the nail moves, but you get what I'm saying. The things that the game adds to the character as you go, and then the charms as well, getting more notches, being able to customize your character to pretty much play how you want. Like, I could take all of these off, and I could just go straight up and say, you know what, we just want a lot of health. How about that? Let's just get a lot of health. How about that, right? Bam, look at that. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That might be 19 or 20. I don't know. I might have miscounted. God Tuner doesn't really do anything except give you access to God Home. Okay, fair enough. But yeah, like, you could do that type of build. You can go more for souls if that's more your thing. You could get a bunch of critters to help you out. You can fluke nest, for example. Like, there's just so much there, and that's part of what made me want to. That's a big part of what made me want to come back to this game, along with the exploration. Having those 2 factors combined made me want to keep playing this game and keep playing it, and probably to the point where people who are sub to the channel who don't want to see this game are sick of seeing the notifications, but that's just what the game does really well. And actually, you know, I should just put these back on just in case I want to do anything. What else did I had Dash Master. The charms are great, really changes your playstyle. Yeah, you can customize it to whatever you want to do. Like me, I like using, I don't mind using soul stuff, but I mostly like going around and just swiping the shit out of stuff like this. I like soul moves too, but I think this is just going up to things and smacking the shit out of them with this is probably, at least right now, my preferred play style. So, and also of course healing, because I do heal a lot. So having something like quick heal just is great. Like just being able to heal up quickly, and then you have the other thing too, which I didn't really equip, but for that fight, well, there's this too, there's deep focus, but there's the one that lets you move around, Shape of Moon. Also, some charms can even change the effect of other charms. Yes, that's another thing too. There are secret effects. I read a thing that told me all of them. There were a lot of interesting ones. Like one of them I've actually used, even though I didn't realize I was using it at the time. But when I equipped the blue ones, whatever they're called, you know, when I equipped these, I think it was this one and this one, it made all of the masks blue, which is pretty cool. I do like the charms in Hollow Knight. I think some of the charms could use a buff. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, there's just going to be some that aren't going to be as good. But, you know, as a whole, I really like how a lot of these work. When the bears have full health, they fire beams of white hot energy from their nail. You could, of course, go for, if you really just want to live on the edge, Fury of the Fallen, throw that on. I wouldn't recommend it, but it is certainly something you could do. There's Grimchild. There's an upgrade still for this that I haven't gotten yet. But the game just gives you so much to continue to not only explore, but improve your own character, that it's just amazing to me how much this game actually has. And I know some of it's DLC that was added later on after the initial release, but it all still counts. It's free DLC anyway, but it all still counts. It's all just there, and it's awesome. Quick Slash and Mark of Pride is one of my favorite combos. It's just like having range and fast damage. Yes, Grimchild is so bad. That's actually one thing. Okay, that's one thing I'm gonna knock the game on a little bit, because obviously there are a lot of really good charms too that you get through completing challenges and stuff. But I don't feel like everything is. I'd have to actually look at where each of the charms are, some of the better charms, and figure this out for sure. So there's going to be an asterisk next to this point I'm going to make. But take Grimchild, for example. Grimchild, apparently, right now Grimchild is 8 damage. If I beat that final Nightmare King Grim, I think his name is. If I beat Nightmare King Grim, that insane fight, if I beat that, it only does 11 damage. It only goes up 3 damage. Like, you'd think doing a fight like that would improve it to something like 20 damage a hit, where it fires tries firing every 5 to 10 seconds. I know that might sound broken, but that fucking fight is broken. So if you can beat it, I think you deserve that. So just something like that, for example, I feel like the reward there isn't that great. I also feel like for the dream fights, and you get the things for the dream nail, the dream energy, whatever it's called. Question: have you done the flower quest? No, I have not done the flower quest. Also, let me just say this too before I forget. We are going to do another stream. We're going to do one more stream of this game tomorrow, where I'm just going to try maybe a few things that I didn't beat. Yep, only a pitiful 11 damage. Like, it's not too bad, but I don't think it fires it all that much, so I don't know. It's not horrible. It's just not up to beating what Nightmare King Grim should deliver. That's why it's called Nightmare King Grim, because his final nightmare is terrible prizes. Well, I guess. But again, like the dream bosses too, a lot of the extra bosses as well. I'm trying to think. Actually, perfect example. The Pantheon. The Pantheon. You don't really... Do you get anything out of those? Because I don't think I got anything out of the first one. Anything out of the first one. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong on that, and I just forgot, but... I think it's just the sense... I think it's just there to challenge you, but... Also at the same time... I can understand, say the final... The boss rush where you have to fight all the bosses at once. Sure, maybe there's not a reward there because that's kind of like the final thing that you'll ever do. But I feel like those other individual ones should give you something really good. CR says kinda. Basically the final challenge in Hollow Knight. Exactly. It's like, I don't care too much if that final big boss rush doesn't give you anything, because that's just there because if you're insane and want to try it, go ahead, try it, and it's basically the last thing you'll do. You can get 112% if you beat Pantheon 4. Alright, and what do you get for 112%? I mean, again, like, I wouldn't expect a reward there, but my whole thing is Pantheon 1, 2, and 3. I guess there's only 3. I don't know if there's 4. I mean, somebody tell me. Isn't Pantheon 5 when... I mean, I have no clue. I just know there's one where you do all the bosses in a row, and you get a sad feeling. There's 5. 5 is every boss. Okay, alright. So then for the first 4, each one should give you something. The first one should give you something really good. The second one should give you something great. Third one should give you something amazing. And that fourth one should give you something just totally incredible, amazing. I don't know what exactly. Maybe one of them makes your nail do double damage. I don't know. But maybe one of them, your nail does double damage, one of them, your soul does double damage. Like, I know that sounds insane, possibly, like it would be breaking the game, but at that point, if you do that, if you go through that stuff, I think there should be a great reward at the end of it. And it's not like you're going to be doing it if you haven't already beat those bosses. So it's not like you can, right? Because you can't get to that without, or you can't do the Pantheon without fighting all the bosses in that Pantheon, right? Megarogue says, nah, I think P5 is optional. I'm pretty sure it's not. The one with the all bosses, I think that one's optional. I feel like I read that, but I don't know. So anyway, that's a small knock on the game. Is I feel like the rewards for some things aren't quite that good. Actually, someone, I think Megarogue was talking about buffing certain charms, and that would be something where, okay, you take those weak charms out and you make them better and put them gate them behind certain hard things that you have to do. Oh, like the the path of pain. The path of pain. CR says I've done all but P5 and still at 111%. All right, yeah. I mean, you guys know better than me, so I'll leave that to you two to figure out. But the path of pain, I didn't do that shit. I didn't even know that was a thing. And exactly, CR, path of pain isn't even worth it because I saw someone do it. I saw someone make it look easy. But I also saw how insane it is, and there's no way fucking way I'm trying that. But the thing is, though, you get through it, and then you get like a cutscene. I don't think there's anything else. I'm trying to remember if there was something for Path of Pain, but I don't think there is. And that's something where if you're someone who goes through that, there should be something amazing at the end of that. There should be something great. And as far as I remember, there's nothing. Maybe there's something that's just all right, but it just boggles my mind that there's nothing amazing put there. And an upset feeling of disappointment. See, like that's kind of the part where Hollow Knight kind of falters a bit at points. But again, like, they put really good charms kind of in random spots. I don't remember where I got all these charms. I mean, this one's risky, Fury of the Fall, because it requires you to be at 1 HP, but having that extra nail damage is pretty great. I went through it. It took me 1 to 2 months. Like, I struggled enough on that last trial that you have to do to get the half of the king mask, whatever it was called, the white king mask, the white king charm. I don't remember what it's called, but like I struggled like hell on that one. Took like an hour and a half to do. I don't know how long that Path of Pain would take, but again, it just wouldn't be worth it. White fragments. Yes, thank you, Zach Wilson. How you doing today, Zach? So that being said, I don't want to go drone on too long about that negative, but that's probably the biggest thing that I'd say is a con for Hollow Knight. And that sometimes the rewards for some of the tougher things don't really... It doesn't feel like they're all weighted correctly, but I'd have to actually think about it and actually look at, okay, where do you get this one? Where do you get this one? Where do you get the... And really see if it's as big of a deal as I'm making it out to be. That said, moving back to... What else did I want to talk about? Hollow Knight Wiki says only the first 4 Pantheon give game completion percentage. Okay, let's back to that conversation. Okay, so I talked about the overall design, level design, exploration. I talked about the charms. Bosses. I have to praise the Hollow Knight devs for how they handled a lot of these bosses, because they obviously wanted to make the game difficult, but they knew to make sure that the main bosses that you would have to beat to get through the main story, up to including even Hollow Knight and getting some type of ending, they knew that they could not make them absolutely ridiculous. There needed to be a cap on that difficulty. There needed to be just a limit. Just a limit on how tough they are. Tough enough where maybe you die a few times trying to learn their patterns, but not so tough that you're going to be struggling on them for hours. And that's one thing that I have to really praise about this game, because when it comes to the main bosses, the main story, I don't know exactly what the main story bosses are as far as what bosses you have to fight. I'd have to actually look it up. But I feel like But I feel like I know which ones aren't main bosses. Like, for example, Lost Kin. Lost Kin isn't a main boss. I'm pretty sure Broken Vessel is the main boss because you have to get through him to get to something down below. But I think it was one of the moves, one of the movement things, but like Lost Kin, for example, yeah, I found it and I chose to spend hours trying to beat him early, which was dumb, but we found, somebody had pointed it out. I ended up trying him. Even that boss isn't totally ridiculous. It's just ridiculous maybe for how early you can fight him. But even then is like, it's because I'm sorry, I'm having so much trouble putting this into words, but not everything, it's not a linear game. So would you even have the dream nail always by the time you get to Broken Vessel? Like, would you have that there? Because if you don't have the dream nail, then you can't go into the fight with Lost Kin, which means you probably leave it alone and then you don't come back to it until, hey, you get superpowered, and then you go back to Lost Kin and then you fight him. Can I talk about something here? Absolutely, CR. It's ridiculous because of the infected balloon things. Oh, Lost Kin. Well, I don't have a problem. I mean, I suck against ads, but I don't have so much of a problem with the ads. I do have, the one problem I do have with it, and I talked about it repeatedly, are when enemies or certain things like the ads can just pop up after you've already started moving in a direction you can't stop, and or even sometimes just pop up right on you and they hit you. And there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do about it. And that's some bullshit. That is some bullshit, and I don't know what the best way to deal with something like that is, because I don't know how easy it would be to program it, so if you're already moving in a direction, something can't spawn there, because there are a lot of moving parts and a lot of things that go into it, and it's not really a big con in the grand scheme of things. It's a very nitpicky thing, especially since it really doesn't, I don't feel like it happens that often, but it did happen on that fight, and that was bullshit. Also, I think it's bullshit again, and just again to reiterate a point I've already made 1,000 times, I think it's bullshit that you have to fight Radiance right after Hollow Knight every single time. Every single time you go through that fight, you have to fight Radiance. I guess I kind of understand why they had to do that, because you can't just go into the fight, I guess, and dream nail him. Although they could have set that up where I already beaten Hollow Knight on this file, so I could go in there and already find him down by Hornet, and then I use the dream nail. Or maybe he's just down already. And I go in there and I attack. I can either attack him to start his fight, or I can dream nail him if I want to fight him again for whatever reason, or I can dream nail him to go to the next part, the Radiance. Like, I feel like that could have been handled better. But those two things aside, that's all I can really complain about when it comes to the bosses. The actual boss fights themselves with Hollow Knight's easy, but also he still requires learning his patterns. Again, it's one of those things where he's a main boss. You have to fight him. You don't necessarily have to fight the Radiance to get to get the true ending, but you don't actually have to fight him. You can just beat Hollow Knight, and that's the end of the game for you. CR says build up to Nosk is great. The boss fight is decent. The only thing with Nosk is I cheesed him, so I don't know how good of a boss fight he really is. I cheesed him. He was ridiculously easy because I just hit in. There was like the two levels of the fight, the two levels of the platforms, and there's like a lip there, and I was able to hide in that lip or be next to the lip and constantly heal whenever I needed to, And he could still do his spit attack that would get my character, but it was very rare that happened. Like, extremely rare. So, Nosk is a tough one for me to grade because I never actually fought him properly. I mean, as someone did ask, Mega Rogue did ask about my favorite boss, and it's really tough to say. I actually do, even though I didn't beat him, I do kind of like the, I do really like the Nightmare King Grim fight. I almost want to try grinding that and trying to beat him. Yeah, the platform is basically used to cheese it. I mean, that's like, you know, it's tough. I don't think something should be in there like that. I don't think they should be cheesable. But I guess potentially there are cheeses in other fights too that I just don't know about. So yeah. Favorite boss though. You know, let me actually... Hold on. Let me look at the journal real quick. Radiance. I'm missing 3, by the way. Nosk Pantheon is annoying as hell because there the fighting area is flat and he just randomly hits you when he does the spitting attack because his hitbox expands hits you. Meanwhile, a 2 Nosk removed the platform, except it makes the fight a bit unfair. But even then, even assuming that, and even assuming that fight's unfair, this actually goes, I forgot about this. This goes into my second point that I want to make about bosses. So in my opinion, with game design, the main bosses, no matter how difficult you want to make the game, the main bosses have to be, you have to make them with the idea that someone can casually pick up the game and not spend like 2 hours on one boss, especially early on. Especially early bosses, you know, you shouldn't design a game like that. But later on, you can make them take, you know, you can expect them to take a little longer and design them. And I know this is really tough to do because it's impossible to know how everyone will play. But I feel like that there needs to be, again, a limit to how tough the bosses are. But optional bosses like the Dream Nail fights, bosses like, for example, Nightmare King Grin, the bosses like even Radiance, and then of course Absolute Radiance. Essentially, even though Radiance is part of the main quest, he is the final boss and he's technically optional to get the true ending, but he could be an exception even if you do want to call him a required fight. But it's fine if they're crazy. It's fine if they're insane. I don't know if there's a level something like any Radiance. But even that, if there was a fight in here if any Radiance was an actual fight that the devs put in, for example, as long as it's optional, as long as you don't have to fight him, sure, it's fair game. Now, ideally, if you had a fight like that in there, you'd make the reward insane for beating him, but yeah. Here says, meanwhile, a 2 Nosk removed the platform. Oh yeah, and also meanwhile in Pantheon 5 he can fly. Yeah, I was watching the all bosses, the trial with the all bosses, and I did notice that he flew, and I was like, wait a second, he didn't do that in the fight I was in. But it's tough for me to give an actual favorite fight. I did like the brothers fight, the Nailmaster Zoro Amato. I did see the there's the paintbrush one, but I saw the fight with the shopkeeper too that you do in the Coliseum, because again I was part of that boss video. He's so small, but he has a giant nail. that was pretty cool. But yeah, again, bosses as a whole, I think were extremely well handled in this. I think the enemy variety throughout the game, and especially once everything becomes infected and certain enemies become infected and kind of upgrade, that is just amazing. You know, how they upgrade and they become more ruthless. One of them just runs right into to explode, another is just to fly, but it gets bigger, and then you have to, you know, it also explodes. And then there are the ones between Forgotten Crossroads and the Grub's Place, those flying little squid, what are they called? I can actually look up what all these enemies are called, so I'm not just calling them random things. These guys were annoying as hell. So were these. Here. Furious Vengefly. Like, these were one of the ones I was talking about. And here, Volatile Gruzzer. Sly is the Yoda of Hollow Knight. Yeah, he seems to be. His mastery of the sword. I kind of like Soul Master's fight. The only issue I have is the second phase. I don't really have too much of an issue with it. Or I should say, I don't have as much of an issue with it in the, I guess Soul Master is the upgraded version, right? Or not the Dream version. With Soul Master, I don't have as much of a problem with it. I do kind of have an issue with it in the first fight, though. I understand why they do it, and, you know, he breaks through, he shows you the move, and then he does the second phase. I would have preferred there not... Again, this is a very nitpicky thing, but it's just something I thought about. I like the fight, but that part of it I don't like. Sly has Mark of Pride and Long Nail equipped. You know, actually, that reminds me. I do want to equip both of them and just kind of see the range. Just for the heck of it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I'm feeling that combination. It all depends on the length and width of your nail, which makes sense. Where is Head Dash Master on? Dash slash or great slash. It all depends on the length and width of your nail, yeah. And, you know, in order to get to him, you have to go through the Coliseum. I would like to try that fight. I just don't want to. I just don't want to really go through that. At least not now. Like stuff like the not the Coliseum. There's the Coliseum too. I haven't Fools I haven't done yet, but the Pantheons. stuff like that. I'm not gonna say I'll never do. I don't plan really to do them. I might try them tomorrow just for the heck of trying them, but I don't really plan to do them because, at least not anytime soon. Maybe in the future. Maybe in the future, I'll do videos on them, where I'll do them off stream and I'll do videos on them, or maybe I'll do a stream of them. I'm not sure. Soul Tyrant is so tank and annoying with the teleports, so tanky. Yeah, he does have a lot of HP. At least it feels like. But also, I don't know. I know I had some trouble with him, but I didn't really hate the boss. Just the second phase. The only thing I hated about the boss was the path getting back to him. That was annoying. And I don't think you had the Dream Nail yet either, so you wouldn't have had the upgrade yet to get the thing. But maybe you could get the Dream Nail before Soul Master. I don't know. Or Soul Tyrant. I mean, not Soul Master. Soul Master, well, you do need the Dream Nail for Soul Master, but... anything else I should talk about? I don't know if I actually answered the thing about the boss. I guess Lost Kin. I'll just say Lost Kin. Like, I don't know. I've spent so much time on Lost Kin. I guess that's my favorite by default. Which boss is let me ask, what boss is the general favorite amongst the Hollow Knight community? Or what bosses? Nightmare King Grim, though, it might be that. Even though I haven't beat it yet. It might be that. Yeah, Soul Master's... Oh, Soul Master's the first version. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Soul Master's the first version, Soul Tyrant's the second version. Gotcha. I don't know, though. I'd have to actually think about which boss is my favorite. But I am curious, what's the general consensus as far as who the best is? If either of you happen to know. If it's not just you still here, Mega Rogue. We're not going to go too much longer, by the way. But there will be a stream of this tomorrow where we try some stuff. I don't know what yet. I haven't really thought about it, but we'll try some stuff for a couple hours to end this playthrough. Nightmare King Grim, Radiance, Hollow Knight, Lost Kin probably. Hollow Knight's a cool fight. Hollow Knight's a cool fight. I just don't know if I'd say it's my favorite. Radiance is also really good, but Radiance is just annoying because the one sideways sword attack is just really annoying for me. There is an easy way to avoid it that I hadn't been doing, but it's also kind of risky too, depending on what he does right after that. So I don't know. I know the least favorite is Markoth. Okay, which one is Markoth? Wish we could sort these. Oh, this one. Yeah, he was annoying. He was annoying, yeah. Alright. I don't know why I've been getting a lot of bots lately. Barkoth is very annoying to do hitless. Yeah. Alright. Bad bots, yeah. I don't think I really have anything else to say. I did find out the rancid eggs, I guess you can sell them for a decent amount of berries. Berries. Wrong game. Wrong bug game. Decent amount of geo. Oh, by the way, what is the reward for the ruined flower? I mean, what is the reward for the ruined flower? I'm asking, but I am looking it up. You get a mask shard for that. Again, it's like they expect you to carry it across the map for a mask shard. Like, that's something that should be a really good... Maybe it doesn't have to be top tier, but it should be maybe second to top tier charm. If you really do have to carry it all the way across the map and go through enemies. I mean, maybe it's not as hard as I'm thinking it is, but I don't know. I'd have to really see what the quest is, see how bad it is. Maybe a mask shard is an appropriate reward. But yeah, just to give some closing thoughts on this, the game just handles a lot of things really well. A few minor things that, for the most part, that are minor things that I don't like too much, but the vast majority of the game is excellent and really fun, and soundtrack is good. I like the soundtrack. I want to actually listen to a lot of the music without being stuck in a boss battle where I'm zoned in on the boss and can't really appreciate the music going on, but yeah, some good music there. Oh, one question though. Is there anything else I can use Geo on? I bought all the shops out. Is there anything else I can use Geo on that I forgot? I guess, is there something where Geo will always be usable? Or does it eventually just become useless? You can make the fragile charms turn into unbreakable charms? Okay, see, now that's what I'm talking about. How do we do that? One of the fragile charms equipped? Okay. You know what? Let me do that now, since we're pretty close. It's so much Geo though? Alright, well I'm curious to see how much it is. So, that is what I shall do.
Oh, first thing. I'm already class. I'm not slow.
Okay. So 12,000 geo. Are they 12,000 each, or do they increase with each one, or vary? Anyway, the point I was gonna make is at some point geo just becomes useless, right? There's not a shop where you can just buy renewable things. Like, for example, say there was a power up for your nail that gives it 20% more damage for the next 50 hits. You could spend geo on 9k, 12k, 15k. Okay, so you need about 36k. Oh, and speaking of the rewards thing too, Zote. I just thought about Zote. Grey Prince Zote. It's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, geo becomes worthless. Okay. Well, you know, it's fine. It seems like I mean, it takes a lot of geo before it becomes worthless, and unless you're trying to grind up geo and then buy everything out early, you're gonna pretty much always have geo throughout the game. So I guess it's fine. They did a good job of making it so you need to keep building it up. One NPC sells the eggs, but that's it. That is it. Oh, the eggs. Well, I mean, that's fine. Absolutely fine. What are the extras? Oh, are these the DLCs? I don't need to look at achievements. Oh, something I want to see. Yeah, no reviving death is permanent. Is there another mode, by the way? Because I thought when I was watching someone, it was in Japanese, but they had a third thing. Unless I'm just misremembering or going crazy. God Seeker mode is a thing. I don't know what it is, what it does though. Alright, I can always look that up. 100. Why do I had 106%? Oh, because I lost the thing. Alright. Well, so again, final stream of this tomorrow, where I'll just be, I don't have a plan for it exactly. Maybe we'll try the Coliseum one more time. Maybe I'll see what whoever's here will help me decide what I try to do. How about that? Whoever's here, whether it be just one person, Mega Rogue, or CR, or whoever, or whether it's a bunch of people, and we have to do polls and stuff. We'll figure it out. And then that'll be it, and then we'll move on to Undertale after that. So anyway, thank you everyone for joining. Mega Rogue, CR, Milligan, Clifford, Lyra, David Banner, Zach Wilson. Okay. But yeah, final verdict. Game is excellent. Really enjoyed it. And, well, I'll see you all next time.